Hello, everyone. Well, today we're gonna go over the entire roster of the Digimon Rumble Arena Remake fan game and make a tier list regarding their overall performance in the game. And My name is Storm. I'm a longtime player of this game, and I'm joined by another player, another longtime player, and friend of mine called Shen. Say hi, Shen.
Hello there.
All right, so there's a lot of characters in this game, so we're gonna try to go through all the megas. This is only megas because there's also the rookies, and so yeah, this video is gonna be quite long, I think.
That's a
So
little bit.
yeah, okay, so let's begin. So where should we start? Shall we go just in order of appearance? The alphabetical order
Hmm.
might be a bit chaotic.
Well, how about we go from weakest to strongest? Because weakest is pretty evident.
Yeah, I my idea was to just start with War Greymon and go through Adventure Cast and whatnot, But we can also do that, I guess.
Oh, we can do that, sure.
Okay, so War Greymon right here. Okay, so War Greymon, in my opinion, can I scroll? Yes, goes right here in S tier. War Greymon is a pretty
He's pretty
straight.
much a staple of all-arounder. Can pretty much do what he wants to. Does not disappoint, but also doesn't overstay his welcome.
Yeah, he's a pretty straightforward character. He's pretty easy to use, covers all the fundamentals. He's your go-to character if you're a beginner, in my opinion. Like, he's not a bad choice for beginners. Strong enough to matter, not
Typically the
exactly.
one everyone picks first.
Yeah, one of the characters everyone picks first. Yeah, usually it's him. It can be Dukemon with a big can of worms. We'll get to Dukemon eventually, and
You will.
yeah, spoiler alert. While we're at it, Wargreymon X, since he's with the regular Wargreymon, this guy, on the other hand, goes in. Where is it? Oops.
We're
Oops.
going.
Oops. I lost him. Where is it?
Do you throw him to the aether?
Oh my god, where is it? Oh no.
Let's see. He's hiding somewhere.
Oh my god, I didn't do it on purpose, I swear.
Oh, there he is. Oh, they're near Imperial Dramon and under Gallantmon.
Oh, here.
Gallantmon stole him away.
He
All
got
right.
offended, so he goes in double ice tier.
Yeah.
He's more like
He,
a zoner version of regular Wargreymon with a really strong ultra mode.
his melee is way more harassment oriented, as they can get right into your face from the other side of the screen
Yeah,
at a rapid rate.
yeah, I don't get why the X version is that much stronger than the regular version, but it is what it is. Yeah, and he's also pretty straightforward. Like you really can't go wrong with this guy.
A lot more harassment tools.
A lot more harassment tools. Very dangerous zoning. Like he has.
His kit allows his other parts of his kit to shine, such as his down special keeps the enemies suppressed so it can go right up in melee.
Yeah, and then Gaia Force, and they go boom, literally, because it explodes.
He's got burning, he's got suppression, he's got melee, he's got everything.
And he's pretty fast to boot. He's not a speedster, but he's pretty fast. Speaking of speedsters, the next one we have on the list is Metal Garurumon. Where is Metal Garurumon? Right here. Metal Garurumon
It's
also goes in
alphabetical.
double S tier. Think right above him, yeah. He's that good. Uh, he's one of the.
Now, it might be confusing to after we explain what Wargreymon X does, but this guy has a nifty thing called freezing, and that is very powerful.
Not only that, he's also a rushdown character, one of the many rushdown characters. He's very
while being low to the ground, so he can dodge a lot of big laser attacks and other hits that would hit much bigger targets than him.
yeah, he's not very tall because he's on four legs, so he can also crouch a lot among a lot of other big attacks. And yeah, the laser, yes, the breath is really fast. Despite having missiles, he's very good in melee. Like he's another character that excels in a lot of areas, and he's also really easy to use.
Yeah, also one people typically bring right off the bat, but tends to be kept around for the late game.
Yeah. The X version, on the other hand, come here, also is in double S tier, but he's more like a full-time zoner, because everything Metal X does is meant to keep the opponent away. Like,
Now, ironically, he is like the opposite of Metal Guru, where he's not a poker, he's not a rushdown. Instead, like Storm was saying, dedicating to this owning, but this time way more annoying because he can now free fly.
yeah, especially in Ultra mode, where the neutral special lasts even longer. Like, it never ends. He has homing missiles that
And
can freeze
that
you.
Ultra has this annoying little ability where, the freeze thing we're talking about? The freeze thing is now homing projectiles that constantly tick.
They both have homing projectiles. It's just the X
But
versions also can freeze you.
yes.
And
And
you
the
know,
how the freeze thing is applied is very important.
exactly. Like the important thing to note is that if you guard the missiles, you don't get frozen. But if you get hit by even one of them, you're gonna get frozen and you're open to the next attack.
So that's
And
where his next part of his kit comes in, because his laser breaks your guard. So then you have to be hit by the missile.
yep. Not only that, there's another annoying factor. I said he shoots homing missiles. There's more of them. One missile is enough to freeze you. So if you're hit by a barrage of missiles, you're gonna get frozen over and over. It's
Mm-hmm.
really annoying.
So it can strike you with the missiles, so you can guard. He hits you the beam to break your guard, and then the rest of the missiles freeze you. It never fails.
Exactly. Now, of course, there are characters that can shut him down because he's a full zoner. But well, without many characters there's in this game, that's honestly bound to happen. The sole fact he can
Yeah.
they both of these guys can perma freeze you. Both of them can post them in double S tier. They're that strong. They're that annoying. Pretty impressive of being starting characters because these four are all available at the start of the game, like the entire Adventure Tier 2 Tamers cast. Like, yeah, a lot of the starting characters are really strong. Next
So
up, we
next,
have
how about we do Vikemon,
Vikemon first. Oh, Okie dokie. Where's Vikemon? Where's Vikemon? This is the
alphabetical.
alphabetical. Yeah, he's right there.
Mhm.
Vikemon. Okay, I'm gonna put him in S tier. I'm gonna put him in below War Greymon. So, the weak point first is slow and he has trouble reaching some aerial targets. I say some because his down special, the icicles he summons, are deceptively tall, actually. So if
And
you're
are
going,
its bread and butter.
yeah, it's bread and butter. It's what opens the rest of his kit. And in Ultra mode, he also has the freezing ability. Like he also can freeze you with just like Metal Garurumon with those icicles. And if you get hit by
Now, due
them,
to how the icicles are placed, there is like four of them that come out of the ground.
yeah,
And
there's
in
four.
Ultra mode,
I think there's
well, each
five.
individual one can freeze you.
I think there's
So if he
five in
hits you
Ultra
with
mode
one of
actually.
them, he
I
can
think there's
knock you into the next icicle, then freeze you over again.
I think there's five in Ultra mode actually. There's five
Five?
icicles in Ultra.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
something like
five.
that. But
And
the layering and laddering of freeze is the big part.
yeah, they're also really big, so they cover a lot of areas. Plus, I think the neutral special is unblockable as well, so it can just knock you back into
with
another
super
ice
armor.
ball and chain freeze you, like you just said. If you get hit by that, you're gonna get a lot of damage. There's not really much to say. It's very straightforward.
Very.
He's basically one of the main tanks.
He's pretty durable, but he's also easy to harass if you're fast enough.
Yeah, he's more like a harasser, and he has a deceptively long range. Like the four special has really long range actually.
Yeah, I think we pretty much got him down.
hmm
Who should go
Alongside
next?
the Vicomon, we had Plesiomon. Plesiomon is where is he here? Okay, okay, Plesiomon. I'm gonna put him in A tier. Okay, Plesiomon is he's a pretty balanced character. Like he's not as insane as the five we just described. He has a few annoying tools, I will say, like the down special, the echoing voice he has is basically his bread and butter, especially near the wall. And in ultra mode, it's annoying because he can inflate attack disable, which, as the name implies, basically doesn't let you attack for a while. And he's known for
All
being
these are great tools, but the problem is he doesn't really have many ways of administering them because he has a very small range. He basically it's all about safely approaching somebody and then eventually damaging them and giving them these effects.
true.
But he requires the time to get there.
He also has a really big hurt box. He's a pretty big guy,
True.
so he can actually get juggled to death. There's quite a lot of there's quite a bit of characters that suffers from this problem, but it's just Glaciamon probably is the one that suffers the most due to also not being overpowered like many other characters. Like
He's
attack,
good, but he's not great.
yeah, attack disable is annoying for sure, and I think he's also known for the fact that he's the first character in the game to have introduced attack disable. There haven't been many attack disablers in quite a while. Like we started
Only in
getting
this
them
recent
now.
update where they're like recent attack disable enabled.
Yeah, we started getting them now, but for a long time we only had Plesiomon and another character we're gonna talk about soon.
True, true.
Mm.
So for the
Okay,
next one then,
I'm
why
gonna
don't we hit up
yeah, I'm gonna kick up with Phoenixmon here.
good choice.
Oh joy, Phoenixmon. Ahem. Down special the character. I mean,
Very
I mean, like don't let her stats fool you. Like she has C in everything, but she has long range on everything she does. But the down special is uh basically what defines her whole kit. Like calling it bread and butter is just an understatement in my opinion, especially in ultra mode. Because yeah,
he's essentially a really down special focus character to the point where she flies above everybody, whoops down, and then nukes the battlefield.
yep, and she heals with that in ultra mode.
Hmm.
She's one of the few characters that can clear survival mode without breaking a sweat. I'm
Oh
saying
yeah.
that I'm saying this as a player that doesn't really like wasting time in survival mode. I was able to clear it. By clear, I mean defeating 180 enemies. That was the end goal of survival mode up until now.
Hmm.
I think it got increased in this last update. I didn't check.
It's hard to counter her if it's in a player's hands.
It's not impossible to beat her. Like uh she's not impossible to beat. She's not immortal. Like even though she's a phoenix, but she's really annoying. Like the down special alone can literally destroy you.
And her fourth special becomes a devastating laser beam in Ultra.
I think it's the neutral special. The fourth special, I think,
Neutral
summons.
special?
Yeah, it's the neutral special.
Oh, yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, and it
Well, point is, Death Beam is scary.
death beam that burns you. He's she's basically
Yeah,
she's basically Zoner Wargreymon in a sense. I guess you can say since they came out around the same time. No, they came out in the same at the same time. Yeah,
hard
and
to pin her down, and she will pin you down.
then she has tornadoes she can summon, which I think stun you upon contact. So she can even hold you still in Ultra mode. Ain't that lovely?
Okay. I
A
think
lot.
Rosemon should be next, I guess.
Nope,
Rosemon Adventure.
nope. There's Valdurmon,
Oh, you have. Oh, yeah, the other bird.
the other bird, because she
Velduramon.
also comes from Piomon, right below, I'd say. Now, Valdurmon, I want to say, was absolutely busted up until the previous update.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole plan about Valdurmon was to activate the neutral special, which is basically a small barrier that doesn't damage the enemy, but keeps her safe from projectiles. And then use that, consume that to power up her other moves. And just like
She's an incredibly
Phoenixmon,
safe character.
She relies heavily on the down special. Now, the reason why she was broken is because in Ultra mode, that move used to be unblockable and used to suck you in, meaning you couldn't escape it, especially if you're using a melee character. And if you're a zoner, you're also not safe because in Ultra mode, the barrier I mentioned before, the neutral special, is permanent in Ultra mode. So she was immune to zoners completely, and she countered melee characters with the down special. So the reason why I put it that below Phoenixmon is because in version 1.7, which is the version that just came out, she got I would say important nerf where instead of being unblockable, the down special now just disables attack. So we got another attack disabler. So she's really, 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 really strong, but not as broken as before, I will say. You could
She's basically, instead of healing, she replaces that healing of Phoenixmon with absolute safety.
safety and firepower, I will say, because I think she also does more
Mm-hmm.
damage despite having the same attack value.
Oh, yeah.
The down special is really annoying. Yeah, you could say she
Yes,
was.
they say birds of a feather stick together.
Yep, you could
Beats
say
to right next to each other.
she's also a pseudo boss character since you need to use Piomon to unlock her. But yeah, okay, that
Okay.
covers for the adventure cast. What's next? Rosamon, I guess.
Yes.
Adventure
Rosemon?
Rosamon is
Yeah.
this one. Okay, Adventure Rosamon actually got better along the various updates. I think, yeah, I think she's a little better than Wargreymon. Yeah. Okay,
Slightly.
so Adventure Rosamon. She has quite the myriad of tools. Actually, she has a neutral special, which is basically a trap that summons a vine from the ground, and if it hits the opponent, they get stunned for quite a long time. And if that happens, they're basically open to all their other moves. So yeah, basically she relies on that to open her way to doing melee combos because she's a melee focused character. And yeah, just combo you to death basically. She's kind of like Wargreymon in that sense, maybe a little slower. The reason why she's higher than Wargreymon is because of her Ultra mode, right? Refleximon.
Yes.
Refleximon is a really strong Ultra mode that can charm you, can combo you, much like the normal Rosamon, albeit slower, can heal herself, and has a very annoying laser that can pretty much get you down to half health in most cases.
And it's actually the first one we cover on this list that actually evolves after Ultra.
Exactly. I think she also was the first character to introduce that this concept, like Ultra Mode evolving into another character. Like yeah, Rosamon going to Refleximon was the first case. So she's another starting character. She was one of the starting
It's
roster.
pretty understandable.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
let's move on to
yeah.
who should be next.
There's not much else to say about Rosamon. The other evolution for
Mm,
Palmon was Bancholilimon. Where's Bancholilimon here? Okay.
yeah,
Bancholilimon also goes in S tier. Okay, Bancholilimon.
he went better as time went on.
Bancholilimon was a character that has been not exactly good for a very long time. She got buffed in this update, 1.7, and what she does is basically counter zoners in a way and harass you in melee. It's a little different from Rosamon. Rosamon literally relies on traps, and Bancholinimon, on the other hand, creates these rifts that not only damage the opponent, but basically nullify other projectiles and even fires back if she's in Ultra mode. She also is the first character on this list that can inflict the glitch status. What does glitch do? Basically, it inflicts heavy damage to the opponent whenever they use a special move. And unlike other statuses similar with like poison or burn, which is inflicted by Wargreymon, for example, this guy inflicts burn. They take a long time to go away and do not go away if they touch the opponent. Like if you burned, you just touch the opponent. If they even if they guard, and you get rid of it. No such luck if you're
It's
glitched.
a character that's all about security and then clapping back. So
Yep.
basically, she's all about performing counterplay before going in for decisive attacks.
Mm-hmm. It's a character that I wouldn't say she's exactly safe. More like she looks for safety.
Hmm.
Uh, she's also deceptively fast. I will say this. Like she has a pretty sneaky dash attack. It's something that
Caught me off guard a few times.
hmm? Yeah, the dash attack is a tool that is often overlooked on most characters. Bancholinimon is one of those that makes good use of it. For some reason, she has a pretty good range on it. Uh, I think that's it. Yeah, I think I
Hmm.
I covered pretty much everything about her. Okay, so
So
this
that's Hercules.
is five. Oh yeah, the Tentomon line. We need
Hmm.
Hercules here. Hercules Kabuterimon. I'll put him in A tier. He's better than Placemon for sure. He's basically
He's a very sturdy character that likes super armor and charging into things.
he's very similar to Wargreymon in a way, just a bit slower and more basic in a sense. Because he doesn't really rely on combos like Wargreymon does. He relies more on strong single strikes. Although I did notice that he also likes to stun you a lot, especially in Ultra mode.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, he's in A tier, but
Essentially, he pins you down, slams you a bit, and throws you away. And he does that repetitively.
yep. Another status is introduced by this guy, which is guard disable. Guard disable, like the name implies, doesn't let you use the guard button for a while. Is that bad? Yes, of course it is. It means that when they attack you, you're gonna take damage. Plain and simple.
Which
You're
helps him with this whole slamming and throwing thing.
Yeah. Guard disable is gonna come into play a lot. There's a lot of characters with guard disable. Just saying that. So yeah, it's a really annoying status. Uh, Not much else to say about the regular Herc. The X version is completely
He's
different.
got an X antibody.
The X version is completely different. I'm gonna put him in S tier.
He
Okay,
almost gets to SS, almost.
yeah, he almost gets to double S. I did consider putting him with the double S, but there are this it's just there's a lot of characters that are better than him. However, he's not bad by any means. It's just that
He
he's
is like a living barrier. He
yup,
just like loves to create force fields of energy and just lob them around everywhere. It's like hard to get close to him.
yep. He also likes to throw the barrier, which is pretty neat.
Hmm.
And he also like nullifies projectiles with it. He's a good zoner. He also has a good dash attack, like Bancho Lilymon. And he also guard disables in Ultra mode. Pretty straightforward, and his up special doesn't let him go up platform that easily, unfortunately. That's the one thing I don't like about him. So I mean, it's not like Bakmon. It's like the up special lets him go up, but then it slams him down and creates an electric field on the ground, which is basically a trap. It's not a good tool. It's another opener for his other moves, basically. But you mainly wanted zone with this
Fairly
guy.
simplistic, but he gets the job done.
Yeah. I think you mainly wanted zone with this guy, though. You want to keep the opponent away. But if you want to go in melee, you can do it easily. Just don't expect heavy combos like these guys. Okay, I think we can move on to the angels now.
Okay. Should we
Angels,
start with the first one, Seraphimon?
Seraphimon. Where are you, Seraphimon? Is Seraphimon here? There you go. EC double S tier. I think it goes right around here.
Yeah. He's essentially a stoner in every sense of the word. Lots of fast paced shooting all over the place.
Aim base,
Massive recovery and very light. So you could essentially soar right up to the air and start shelling from the atmosphere.
pretty
And as
much.
a little bonus, he gets a lot of healing in
He
its
gets
ultra mode.
in his ultra mode. Yeah, when you can just spam the up special and he heals. Yeah, he's basically a premium zoner, but he actually has some deadly melee moves in ultra mode. When he does the flying kick for special, he also has the Excalibur, which I
Hmm.
think is a reference to Magna Angemon, Holy Angemon, you want to call him, which is the previous form. And the reason why he's up here, the main reason I think is the Evo move, which is another
Which is the
concept.
first one up here to have one.
It's the first one on the tier list to have one. Ascension Halo is basically an aura around him that catches the opponent and shoots myriads of lightning on him. It will basically deplete the HP bar of the opponent. Basic if it's someone that has lower than C defense, which is in most cases a rookie, it basically guarantees the kill. It's that strong. Although you can just guard it for some reason. I remember it was unblockable before. I don't know what happened. Maybe they thought it was too strong. But yeah, he's easy to use. He keeps the opponent away. He's also strong in melee. He can heal himself. He has a lot of strong tools. Like you can't go wrong with Seraphimon. You can only wish he was this good in the anime, right? Um.
Hmm.
hmm Meanwhile, Goldramon goes in, I'd say S tier. I think is around here or here.
I think
From
directly above Adventure.
here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the neutral special mostly. The summon.
Honestly, he's a very awkward character. He
He's
is the slowest one on here right now. with
Yeah,
E speed.
he has
And he's big, kind of clunky, but his neutral that we talked about sends basically a pair of dragons to constantly home in and harass them,
hmm
stopping them from doing anything.
Yep. And it basically opens up for his other attacks. Yes, it's another opener. But the fact he has E speed is what hinders him. Like if he had a slightly higher speed value, he probably would be a little higher on the tier list. Because generally speaking, his kit is not bad. It's just that the fact that he's slow doesn't let him use that doesn't let him use him that well. His ultra mode is pretty unique, though, I
There's
will
not too much to
say.
talk about in the form of Godramon.
Hmm?
There's not too much to talk about in Godramon.
Well,
Mainly,
actually,
he's the neutral and the down special, like, burst of energy.
yep. But well, I will say that his ultra mode is actually kind of unique because of the fact that when he goes in ultra mode, he when he does the summon, he can just keep it around it to power up his normal attacks. When he shoots the fireball all around him. And also apparently
True,
he
it is
doesn't
unique.
take damage while the summons are around him. Basically, he parries everything.
So
So
oddly, it's hard to use because again, that E speed. Who is he going to hit with a normal attack if he's slower than everyone on the roster?
yep. Now, granted, there's other megas that have E speed, but the thing is, in most cases, when a character has E speed, they're probably a tank. This guy is not a tank. That's the thing. He's just a really slow rush down in a way, which is kind of weird. I think we're done with Godramon. It's not. There's not much else to say. Okay, now for the colleagues. Where is Ophanimon? Ophanimon. Oops. Ophanimon is here. Another double S tier character. There you go. So Ophanimon.
Yep.
She's a premium zoner, much like Metal Garurumon X. Okay, so the thing about Ophanimon is that she's very straightforward. She's very predictable in PvP mode, like against another player, but her damage is no joke, especially in Ultra mode. In Ultra mode, she's basically impossible to approach because she summons lasers around her, columns of light. She can heal herself with the up special, like Seraphimon, in a different way, but she can also do that. And she basically covers the field with fireballs, lasers, and such. Yeah, she's very annoying to fight. And is also another character that completes survival without too much issue. Like if you're good with Ophanimon, survival mode is gonna be a joke.
He's been a character that's been around fairly early, but has always been defendable no matter how many updates she's been given.
She got buffed over time, I will say. Like she wasn't as good as she is today before. But yeah, she's pretty straightforward. She's very predictable and such. It's not really. She doesn't really do anything too flashy. Just a lot of damage and occasional healing, basically. Uh, it is possible to beat other players with her, though. I will say. The dragon, on the other hand, Olidramon. Where are you? Here. Now, Holy Dramon, in my opinion, it's actually hard to judge her. I would say either top of A tier or bottom S. Hmm, let's go bottom S, actually. The reason why I put him in bottom S is mostly for the Ultra mode, really. She's a character that I still don't know what her job is supposed to be, because she doesn't really excel in anything.
Hmm.
But the Ultra
Now,
mode,
Magna are a holy Digimon here, but yes, like Storm's gonna say, like her Ultra is basically her entire kit. Like she's built for her Ultra,
yeah, the
but in
ult.
base, she is kind of helpless. She can't really do too much other than try to get close, but she doesn't really do a good job of that since she's fairly slow and has no range ability.
Mhm. The Ultra mode is basically what defines her whole kit. Apocalypse. It's a move that basically summons three bolts of lightning on the field and that just stay on the field permanently until the Ultra mode ends. So what basically happens is that, especially if you're fighting in a small space like the Chaos Lord domain, she can just cover the whole field in lightning, somewhat quickly too. And more times than not, you're gonna die. Because, yeah, you can guard it, but you're gonna also get a lot of chip damage. And because the lightnings are permanent, I mean, they last until the Ultra mode ends. And she's also good against some very specific characters, some really big characters that we're gonna talk about really soon. And just because of this niche, she's around here. She's in S tier. If it weren't for that, I'd probably put her lower. It's unfortunate, really. Hmm. Okay, so who shall we cover next? Because I think this is the old adventure cast.
Maybe Leomon, Saber
Leomon.
Leomon.
Okay, I think Leomon is, yeah, Leomon is an adventure as well. Okay, so let's start with Saber Leomon. Saber Leomon goes in top 8 here. Okay, uh, he's a really straightforward character. I would say he's a rushdown. Like he has those little arrows on in neutral, but he mainly focuses on uh, leaping onto the opponent and do these weird combos that just do a lot of damage. The reason why he's not higher though is because he's a very risky character. Like I don't know why, but it took me a long time to clear survival mode with him. Um, he has very low defense. He has a very big hurt box, and yeah, sometimes he just gets caught in a lot of attacks. That he's a good character for sure. It's just somewhat hard to use, surprisingly. Mm, anything else to say about him? Oh yeah, yeah. He inflicts poison. The first character on this list to inflict poison, actually, which is basically the same as burn, but it also has a chance of preventing action on the opponent. Like there's some cases where the opponent is poisoned and they just can't. Their actions are cancelled, so they can actually it can actually kind of save you. Uh, I don't think there's anything else to say about Saber Leomon, right?
Nah,
Yeah,
you got it.
yeah.
Well,
He's a very straightforward guy. I think I made a video about him already. Like you can go watch that.
now we move to the Dark Masters. So, starting on first appearance, why not Metal Digimon?
Okay, maybe we can leave Banchaleon for later. Metal Seedramon. Okay, Metal Seedramon, Metal Seedramon, where are you? Metal Seedramon, Metal Seedramon, Marsmon, where are you? Okay, there you are. Okay, I put Metal Seedramon in double S tier as well. Uh,
He's super fun.
probably here. Okay, Metal Seedramon. This is another character that was really bad up until a recent update. I think in 1.5 or 1.6 he got buffed pretty recent. Now he's a huge threat. So what Metal Cinnamon does is basically just spam is tidal wave and laser. and just drowning with it. So you think that because it's a zoner, you can get close, right? Well, he wouldn't be in double S tier if it weren't for that, because he's a threat in melee as well. Like, I made a video with
Like his
Melcedramon.
melee has a deceptive range, like
Yeah, because
due to his slender body. If
he
you
has a
try to sneak at him from behind, he might just drag you into a big forward special.
yeah, it's just hard to attack him. That's the thing. Like, I made the video
Hmm.
about Melcedramon, and the fight lasted barely a minute. It just kills you so fast.
I
It,
personally really like using him. He's one of my top 10 faves to use.
mhm. Like, he's not exactly a tank. He's just uh, a pretty straightforward, versatile character. He does well in melee, he does well at zoning, and in ultra mode, he also covers even more space, and can uh, impede character movement, basically, because when the tidal wave hits the opponent, it reduces his jump. So much so that it's basically really hard to avoid the next tidal wave, unless you have flying abilities like the angels, or War Greymon and such. And the laser just hurts a lot. Like, it doesn't have unblockable tools, it doesn't have statuses, just something to reduce jump, and a lot of damage. Very straightforward guy, but also really, really powerful and really annoying to fight. Like, the sole fact that you can't approach him in melee despite being a zoner puts him here. At least that's what I think. Uh, for Giga Sidramon, on the other hand, since it's basically a next version of him, where is he?
In the
There
Jeeps.
he is.
So
Found him.
there you are.
Okay,
Now
Giga Sidramon.
Giga is very impressive.
I
He has a huge defense stat and tons of range tools. If you thought Metal Speedmon did, this guy, he has sweeping ones. I think Giga should go
probably here
mm,
or here maybe.
right under Phoenixmon, I think, yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I
Because
think this guy,
you know what the impressive thing about him is? Because despite being not very mobile, he has E speed. He actually can catch up to a lot of enemies. Like, he's basically a moving fortress that can even hit aerial enemies. So even in cases like
essentially, this guy's like hitbox and kind of suffers like a Metal Speedmon situation where he has this statutorily large range. So reaching over to you with his melee, like his sword special, he would hit you before you even realized it, and does way more damage in melee than Metal Speedrun.
yeah, in melee he's very powerful. He has a move where he just flies at you and just bites the hell out of you. And then he has the tail laser, which is unblockable in ultra mode as well.
The best part is that its entire kit can be comboed into itself. You can combo its forward into its up into its down, its neutral into its down. Everything can combo.
He's basically a very intuitive zoner that can combo you to death.
And
Zoners
it's
that,
one of the very few on this list already that can penetrate through any shield barriers. It's down special.
yep, like, unblockable attacks aren't uncommon in this game. Giga just happens to be one of the most reliable ones, mostly due to his range. Let's not talk about the
And I believe
damage,
actually,
because the damage is really, really high as well.
oh yeah, he's
Uh,
one of three on this list to have homing missiles. But in this case, in its up special, he in its ultra mode, he released this a ton of homing missiles come raining down in his bow.
yep,
And
and
then using its down special, similar to Metal Gear 1X, he can break their guard, have them go right through.
It can also, and if you do it from close range, it's even more damage because he also shoots missiles around him. So he basically has a moving
Hmm.
barrier in a way. He's a pretty annoying character to fight for sure. Really, 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 really powerful.
I'm sure you have some personal experience with that one.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of PvP matches, but I
Yeah.
also,
And this guy is one of my top three mains. Love to use him.
yeah, I know, I know. Uh, I I do think that however he's deceptively hard to use in survival mode. You kind of need to train with him
Yeah.
to make him good in survival. For that, I probably
I
think
think
Metal
before we move
Cinema
on,
feels better.
I think we should adjust a little bit of the placement aspects. I think we should move Rashomon and Funimon next to each other.
Yeah, Metal Cinema probably here. Um, because yeah, similar they're similar in the sense that they're intuitive, but Metal Cinema just does a lot more damage and is also a bit more intuitive, for the melee range, just for that.
And I think that looks good. I'm ready to move on, I think.
I think yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say about Giga Drama. Like you just have to try him.
The
Okay,
next
next
one to
up we
appear
have
was Puppetmon.
yeah, Pinocchimon or Puppetmon, you want to call him, is here.
I'm a dubber. Sue me.
I've got the whole world to see. To S. He goes.
Uh, the cringe.
No. Put him here for now. Okay.
I think we should put him under Vikemon.
You sure? This low?
Like he used to be super ridiculous. Like his Ultra mode is incredibly unique, the only one like it in the game, where he summons Housemon and is able to hop inside it and fight without any time limit. So its Ultra mode never drains. Problem is, while it was super durable and hard to deal with before, they nerfed it a lot to now where it has F defense. And if it gets destroyed, it detonates and hurts them catastrophically.
Yep. And
We not quite as potent.
also, there's characters in this game that can drain the Evometer mode, and he's very susceptible to those.
So he was once one of the strongest people here. Now he's fallen round to lower S.
Yep. He's still decently powerful and easy to use. But
Definitely.
yeah, it's just the other characters are much better. Like even War Greymon got to a point where he's just better than this guy. Uh,
He does have some neat like barrier tools and some fast attacking properties, but otherwise he's fairly simplistic.
yeah, he doesn't have any statuses or uh annoying combos or whatever. He's pretty straightforward. Just for how small he probably goes in S tier. If we didn't have him, he'd probably go in A tier, I'd say. Uh,
Now, do you want to cover his alternate evolution? I
mm,
feel like you have a personal connection to this guy.
Also because it doesn't really appear anywhere else. Well, it doesn't even appear in Adventure. His alternative evolution is where is he? It's here. Noble Pumpkinmon. Noble Pumpkinmon, I probably put him around here. Happy late Halloween, my guy. Okay. So, Noble Pumpkinmon. Uh, Disclaimer, one of the hardest characters to use in this game, for sure. Uh, a lot of players just don't know how to use him. Okay, so no Pumpkinmon, how does he work? He is a rushdown trapper, to sum it up completely. So what he does is basically just uh, fly around the screen shoot fireballs with his neutral, or he can just rush you down with his stick, the forward special, or set traps with the down special. That's pretty much it. The reason why people think he's hard to use is because of his ultra mode. Now, the ultra mode doesn't really power him up all that much. It summons pumpkin bombs all around the screen, which he can detonate with a normal attack. And he can also summon a giant pumpkin bomb, which can be moved around, and it can be exploded with the neutral special. Now, the bomb, if it explodes on the enemy, it does a lot of damage. We're talking about half health, basically. And it also will randomly either inflict a debuff on the enemy or buff no Pokemon. So he's very RNG dependent in a way. But the thing is, this is basically where the his whole kit revolves around. Like he doesn't have that many tools. He's a very run-of-the-mill character. It's just that this giant bomb is really powerful. So if it hits, it can basically turn around the match. Um, in PvP, however, is really predictable. Probably even more predictable than a Funimon. So it's not that hard to
So its
him.
type special, it's easy to catch other players off guard due to its high priority.
Yeah, the side special has high priority. He's also deceptively fast. I did win a few matches with him, uh, which I kind of want to point out. So it's not impossible to win with Noble Pumpkin. He's not just a mean character. Uh, but yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say. Just the fact that the neutral special or shoots in an arc like thing. So gaining height with this guy is important if you want to cover range. That's the only thing you need to remember. For the rest, you can just use him like a normal rushdown character. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say. Okay, we move on to the next Dark Master.
Oh, can I cover this next one?
I think it's Machine Drum, right? Yep.
Machine Dramon. Oh
Okay.
yes, Machine Dramon. Okay.
Because it's double S,
Machine
right?
Dramon, I think should go. Oh, it's definitely double S. I think. Yeah, why not? Right there.
Here?
Machine Dramon is annoying but awesome for one thing in particular. This guy's entire thing is that he can be immune to any kind of juggling. Like everything he does, upside down, doesn't matter. He locks
Upside.
down and it's not movable. And he just shreds into people, whether it be firing lasers or sending a hellfire of energy all around him. He can stop any trick that comes this way. He's got barriers that stop attacks and juggle them. He's got harassment, and he can even poke through barriers with his sports special, where he extends his claw and just pokes forward.
He has a
Not
barrier of
only
his own,
that,
well.
but yeah, that's the down special that can juggle people. It gets even better because just like Refleximon with Rosemon, he can evolve further into Chaos Duron, or if you're a Digimon World 2 fan, Chaos Lord. And this guy, the laser he does can't be blocked anymore. He has Poison Rain. He's got deadly melee combos that can't be interrupted, and a MI tracking missile that poisons the enemy.
What I want to point out about Machine Ramon is that he has S attack. So if you get hit by this guy, you're gonna feel it.
Hmm.
Like the laser you just
And he's
mentioned,
hyper durable.
the laser you just mentioned it is unblockable. Will do a lot of damage to you. So the only way to deal with it is to fly away, assuming you are controlling a flyer like these two.
And
If
most won't expect it to be unblockable, so they'll probably take the laser for an accident, thinking they can block it.
Nope, boom.
And also, it is the only one on this roster, Chaos Lord, to have S tier defense.
Oh yeah, yes, S tier defense. That's right. Uh, so he's basically a very specialized tanky zoner in a way, because if you think about it, everything it does is zoning out, besides the claw attack as Chaos Dramon.
If you fight a machine Machinedramon, you gotta be very, very careful
Eh,
because you're probably not going to have a speed high.
Very careful and very patient as well.
Mhm.
Um, Controlled by the AI, Machinima is not that scary. Machinima is mainly a problem if used by a player. This is another thing I want to point out. Uh, okay, let's cover the outer evolution as well, since he also appears in Adventure. This guy is a Hyandramon.
Okay,
Hyandramon, I want to put him in S tier.
great. Can you stop the speed real quick? Because I actually have to go and eat terminals. You this today.
Huh? Okay, so Hyandramon. So Hyandramon is a rushdown character, basically. He likes to literally assault the opponent with his blades and do very quick and strong combos. But he has another tool at his disposal, which is Atomic Ray, the down special. If he basically has a preparation time before firing, and if you shoot him while he does this, he negates the projectiles and powers up his laser. So basically, he nullifies projectiles and uses them to power himself up. And then that's pretty much it. In Ultramode, he just gets some extra missiles and becomes stronger. He's a very straightforward character.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, a bit underrated. So a lot of people just forget he exists because of Machine Roman. I don't think there's but no, I don't think there's anything else to say. Okay, the next up is the last Dark Master, I think, Piedmon.
Hmm? Pikeman. So
Piedmon.
this guy is sort of like a Puppetmon, except he's more reliable in melee.
Mm,
He's all about quick, fast attacks and juggling, which, if you don't handle him fast, the situation can quickly get out of your hand.
mm-hmm. He is very.
And in Ultra, he can like teleport and do all these crazy shenanigans where he really won't let up. He'll throw an invisible projectile at you, so you have to guess when it will come. He can release swords around himself that hover and constantly take damage, and or he can throw them. He just has a lot to his toolkit that makes the enemy on edge because they don't know what he'll do next.
He's a very simple character, but the damage he does is insane. It, just for the damage output, he basically keeps you on your toes. And the fact that he's really fast to boot. I think top of S tier is right for him, to be honest. He's not broken, he's just really, really strong.
I especially have a hard time dealing with him.
Yeah, I think you only beat me once with Piedmon while I was using Piedmon.
Hmm.
Okay, that's the Dark Masters. Uh, Next up, I want to cover a guy that I absolutely despise. Should be this guy right here, Yaboramon.
Ah, yes.
Well, Yaboramon. He is a boss character that is a pretty much a versatile guy. He's basically somewhat of a melee guy with the one projectile and the barrier that likes to drain meter. There we go. Evo meter draining counter for Pinocchimon right here. It can do this somewhat reliably, and in Ultra mode, he evolves into a character called Armageddon or Armageddon. Yeah. that guy, the guy from the Zero Two movie, and he's the first instance of what we call a stage character. So what a stage character is basically a character that belongs to a gigantic character, and that when doing so changes the scenery. So the stage changes because this guy evolved. Uh, and Armageddon is pretty much a juggernaut that just is really slow but hits really hard. Has one attack that is unblockable, but for the most part, he's basically just a very strong zoner. I don't think he's super exceptional for being a boss character. It just hits really hard, and the fact that he drains meter in base without evolving is what makes him dangerous.
He is definitely strong, and that's the first boss character on this list, and for a good reason. He's very quick to get going, and with no clear weaknesses to be known.
Hmm. Yeah, there's not really a lot of weaknesses. I probably would say that the weaknesses show more when he evolves into Armageddon, due to the fact that he has a really big hurt box and is not really fast. Like Yaboromon is fast,
Sure.
Armageddon is not. While we're at it, let's cover this other guy as well. Yaboromon X. He definitely goes here. Okay, so how do I describe this guy? Okay, the Yaboromon X
Eborn X.
is
Uh,
I would say is borderline broken, if not straight up broken, because it basically is a improved version of the Yaboromon. It doesn't evolve into another form like the normal Yaboromon does. What he does is basically just do insane combos, lots of disruptions, and he still has the barrier that drains meter, with the difference that it requires an extra step. The reason why I put him above is because in Ultra mode, his combo potential gets even better, and the barrier is unblockable. Not to mention the range on that thing. So what
and
happens
see, with this guy, like he used to be like last update, a tier even higher than this.
in the last
But
update?
he
He
was
was
knocked down
he
because,
was up here in the last
oh,
update.
yeah, because the projectile he had before, when its down special is active, he could throw it and it would do constant ticks to the point where if you're even the strongest character in the game, you'd be down to half health just from that.
The forward special, yeah. And even if you guarded it, you just get a lot of chip damage. Even disregarding that, the barrier alone is also really, really strong. This guy is no joke. Now, I don't think you fight him necessarily in any arcade path. You just unlock him, but fortunately, you don't have to fight him. In the hands of a player, is really, really scary, even with other bosses. Uh, I don't think there's anything else to say, right? No.
No, not really. I think you covered it pretty well.
Okay. Okay. So, while I'm at it, I think I want to cover, um, I guess Algamon counts, since he's part of the same line. He doesn't appear in Adventure, but he does appear in Adventure 2020. I want to put him here, I think. Here.
Directly over policeman.
Yeah, Algamon. Probably higher, actually. Actually, yeah, I want to put him a little
Think so?
higher. Yeah.
Where we
The,
put him?
uh, I want to
because
say
like
probably here.
he's very fragile and has almost no range. So
Yeah, but the fact is, he has a lot of tools. Like
I mean,
he has Worm Face, which can basically let him heal at a frightening rate. He has Meter Drain ready at his disposal. He has a lot of range when he's a Worm Face. When he's on foot, he's
mm,
really fast and has a good interruption game. And in Ultra mode, he has an unblockable attack and one that inflicts glitch. I think he's really, really strong, actually. The fact that
I
he's
actually strongly disagree with that because an issue with that is that Worm Face requires meter to use, which means no Ultra, and using Ultra means no Worm Face. So he has to dedicate to one or the other.
mm,
Not only that, but his Ultra is often outpaced by other ones. Like, take, for instance, Chaos Lord, another one that evolves to another mod. It pretty much is stronger than Algamon's Ultra in every fashion, and
mm,
outdoes everything that it can do. And most other Ultras with that ability tend to put it to shame as well. And a down special like Argamon, though he heals, he would be massacred by the likes of even Vicomon, but whose down special would just start erasing him with all those damage ticks from the icicles.
mm. So where would you put him actually?
I put him above Policeman.
Place him on here. Hmm. That seems a little harsh, but
I mean, he has the lowest defense stat of nearly every mega in the game.
I guess I can live with that. I will say that
And
he
he has no projectile destruction. So if he's fighting a mystical character or a laser character, he can't stop anything they do.
he is really agile though.
And even if he becomes worm phase, all of its projectiles have lower priority than anything the players can do.
I want to point out one thing though. He can still win against other players. Like you did beat some really tough tiers with Atlumon. So while he's on the lower end here, due to the fact that it is easy to disrupt him, he can win matches. You just need to know how to
Yes,
use him. It just
it's very challenging, but due to his diverse ability, you can take someone off guard, not expecting some things he pulls out.
and the fact that Worm Phase is useful but requires meter makes him somewhat challenging character to use.
And since Wormface is built for more of the late game, where he heals off damage, he usually has to survive an Ultra or two, which is highly dangerous for someone with that kind of defense stat.
Okay. Uh, I think we can cover Omegamon next.
Okay.
Omegamon, where is he? Here you go.
It's a tough cookie. Like right near Deborn X, I would say. Very tough.
Yeah, Omegamon. Uh, Now as a boss, he's not too dangerous.
Mhm.
Mostly due to the stage where you find him. But in the hands of a player, yeah, he definitely is one of the stronger characters. Even though he is a boss character, it's important to imply that he has powerful enough tools to compete even with the top end of the roster. Maybe not the top one, because the one that is at the absolute top, which is not here right now, literally cannot be beaten unless there's little skill issue. But Omegamon is a character that has so many tools, which are all really powerful. Is really easy to use. He can freeze. He can burn. He has unblockable attacks. He has very good range. He's very fast. He has everything you could hope for.
It's essentially the best traits of Wargreymon and Melgarumon combined,
Yeah,
which is fitting, which that he gets the Burning and Freeze.
he's basically the ultimate versatile character. I think he can even nullify some projectiles, but I'm not sure. Oh, and he has a unique
He actually can.
he can, I think, yeah. And he has a unique uppercut in base where he shoots some missiles in an arch like Noble Pokemon does with the no neutral special. So if you do the uppercut while in the air, you can also cover some distance with those missiles. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it can open up to some attacks. So a good Omegamon is definitely a big threat. Uh, yeah, and I think that's it. Like he also evolves into another character, which is Omega Merciful Mode, and that's the one that has access to the freeze, burn, and the unblockable attacks that I just mentioned. You don't want to mess with this guy. You gotta be on your toes. The reason why he said he's not very dangerous as a boss is simply because you find an unidentified network like the Aboramon, which has a lot of space. So if you're using a strong zoner, you can just stay away and beat the crap out of him by just zoning him. He's also a little slower than the Aboramon, so yeah. But he's not a bad character by any means. The X version, I guess we can cover it now, yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay,
well,
technically
so this guy,
this is not an adventure character, but it's still a Megamon, so let's just cover him. Honestly, I don't know where to put him.
he
He's in
has
double S.
basically the ranging abilities that Omnimon has. And this guy cranks it up a notch because he does more damage with more wide reaching moves. And
Let's just put him
actually, that's
here,
the
I guess.
barrier attack, which Omnimon didn't have in its down special. But his primary feature that everyone's going to be talking about, and why most people will use this guy, is his Ultra Mode, which, if anyone's watched X Evolution, they would know about All Delete, which is in this game. And where you press this the Evo move and use this the down special,
Actually,
where
no, he
he
doesn't
will
need.
be with invincibility. Hmm?
He doesn't need to do
Huh?
to press save button to activate it. Just down special.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yep.
I guess don't use him enough. But either way, just down special. He will be using All Delete, where he turns invincible and flies way past the skybox before plummeting down and insta killing the enemy.
And the reason why it's good
And if
is
he timed
mainly
this right,
because of survival mode. In survival mode,
not
you
only in
can
survival mode, but in like 3v3,
3D.
because while the enemy is still spawning in, you could erase them.
Yeah, I say survival mode because you can actually pull all delete off at least 4 times. Like if you can pull it off once, you basically have free way to just shoot another one and just you have insta kill 4 enemies just like that. It
Not to
naturally
mention
be
time attack or special battles or anything. It's
for
very
anything
useful.
that isn't 1v1. Not that in a 1v1 he's bad by any means. As for the
It's
Evo
just
move,
maximized in these settings, which he is pretty broken.
okay. As for the Evo move you mentioned, what it does is basically just it makes him go Ultra Instinct. That's like that they call him. He basically just parries every attack, much like Godramon does when he has the dragons. So whenever you attack him, he just parries the attack. It takes no damage for a set amount of time. Besides that, he also has extended melee attack, and I think his great sword also creates an explosion. Yeah, he's pretty strong.
And it's also its Guru Cannon is unblockable
And his Agur cannon is unblockable. Yeah, so no freeze or burn, just a lot of damage and all delete.
and insta killing mechanics.
and all delete, which is insta-killing mechanics. Although insta-killing isn't really reliable in 1v1, especially against another player. The other abilities, though,
because it can actually be interrupted if you time just right.
yeah, you can interrupt it. Um, the other abilities just make up for it. Though I will say you're pretty evil if you try to insta-kill the other player. uh, there's another boss character I want to cover up as well before moving to Zero 2. This guy, Reapermon. Reapermon, I'm gonna put him here, I think. Okay, Reapermon actually appears in Adventure 2020. I think he also appears in Tamers, I'm not really sure. And the reason why I want
He
to
does
cover
not appear in Tamers, but he appeared in the original Rumble Arena.
he appeared in the original Rumble Arena, and he's also the first boss in this game. It's the reason why I want to cover him now. So the reason why Reapermon is so scary and still so hard to fight is mainly because of his damage output. Like he has pretty low defense for being a boss. He has B defense, but his damage is no joke. He has pretty good range, even in his normals. He has very good mobility. Like he has an up special with free flight movement, kind of like Seraphimon. But in Ultra mode, he becomes extremely scary because he gets permanent super armor, meaning that he cannot be staggered. So even if you attack him, he just goes past it like he doesn't care. He just attacks you like it's nothing. And his up special becomes much stronger. He gets this huge tornado that sucks you in and burns you. And it can be spammed. So if you get hit by it once, you can just use it over and over and you die. This guy is as S attack. So he hits like a truck, okay? You really don't wanna mess with this guy. The reason why he's hard is mainly because you're fighting with rookies, and he's the first boss, so like he's the opening act to the whole Rumble Arena remake thing. Uh, there's not much else to say really. He's basically a melee juggernaut. Uh, I think we're done with Adventure, right?
Sort of. If you want to cover Venom, that's an option.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess let's cover Venom and Don Devimon as well. Okay, first Venom. Where's Venom? Here. So, Venom Majolismon or Venom Vandemon. He's another double S tier character, yes. I am gonna put him probably uh probably here. I think.
Venom is.
I'll leave him to you actually,
Hmm.
because he's a tank.
Well, I would put him on the lower end of the SS spectrum.
Yeah,
So I I would say just lower Piedmon right now. Well, he's not going to be like ending right there. There's going to be others filling in that space. But for now, yeah, like Venom's really strong, and he can puncture a lot of things you would not nearly expect him to do. Like he is the anti-meta essentially. If someone thinks they can get away with something fancy, he will shut them right down because all of its melees have super armor. So he can flat out deny projectiles that like try to interrupt him and just slap people out of the air with his long reaching arms. But the problem is he has super armor. So he can get sliced apart by constant taking attacks. and he's pretty slow with one of the biggest hitbox discs in the entire game. So people can run away and just hammer home with him projectiles or any other terrain blocking attacks. He does get some healing in his ultra and some like fire, which you can leather on the field to try to gum up the battlefield. But it's
Okay.
going to be hard for him to pin down a foe. But if he does, they're pretty much dead because he can just keep smacking them around.
He can also poison in the with the neutral special, and in general, he has
That's
really
true.
high defense, so he's pretty hard to kill actually.
He can take some punches, a lot of punches, and he could heal eventually. His fights are usually slogs, trying to beat him past his healing value.
Yeah, that's why I put him here for now. Maybe he should be lower than Borgramon X. I don't know.
Nah, he's not quite there.
Here?
I'd say it's still under. There's going to be stuff that fills in the area, but for now, I think that's should be a good place.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
like a lot of people run circles around it. Like Ophanimon tore him apart, and Seraphimon would too, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he actually is. He can reach pretty high actually with the up special. He's deceptively long reaching. Like he has
True.
these noodly arms.
Big hitbox.
Okay, big hitbox, big hitbox. While we're at it, let's cover the other devil.
Deceptively.
The other devil, which is Don Devimon. Where is he? Here.
I love this dude. He's
This
always been one of the weakest people in the entire game until
this guy
recently.
is from 2020 as well. So, he's around the same tier in my opinion. I'm gonna put him above for now.
Okay.
They're interchangeable to be honest. Like can be above, can be below. Okay, so Don
Yeah, that's fair.
Devimon. Don Devimon was absolutely terrible in the previous update. Like he was B tier. Now he's a beast. He's really really strong. So what Don Devimon does is basically you can think of him as some sort as an orthodox zoner, uh, where he either just keeps you away with his flames, or he can grab you, stun you, and then combo you with his up special or his dash attack. Yeah, another
And
dash
its dash
attack.
attack is one of the farthest reaching dash attacks in the game.
Yeah, it's another dash attacker.
So
It's even better
he
than
can
these two.
typically poke quickly with that attack before the enemy can respond and just keep sweeping in. It's a terrific move to lead on.
He can't he doesn't fly in the air, but he does have a jump, so he can actually fight flyers kind of reliably because even his air normal has a good range. And the reason why he's in double S
So
tier,
that it's also a weakness because he has no recovery.
yep. The reason why he's in double S tier is because of his ultra mode. So the reason why
Hmm.
his ultra mode is scary is because when he goes ultra, he's enveloped in this purple aura, which is actually miasma, and this thing damages the enemy and poisons them. It does run out, but you can also light up again if by pressing the Evo button. And that move that grabs the enemy and pulls them towards him now is unblockable. So you can just yoink the enemy towards him and poison them for free damage. And then use the up special, which also poisons the enemy. Not only that, I think the down special also is unblockable and nullifies projectiles. This guy is basically a menace on the ground.
Hmm.
Flyers can kind of fight him, but on the ground he's basically unstoppable. He's that scary. Anything
Yeah,
else?
he's the meat grinder on the ground, essentially.
Yep.
Anything else for adventure?
For
Mm-hmm.
adventure,
Looking at it here, I don't believe there is anyone for adventure.
yeah, and I think we said everything about Don Devimon as well.
Correct.
So I guess we can move on to 02. Okay, so for 02,
Adventure of two?
Adventure Zero
Yes.
Two. Let's cover Imperial
Okay.
Dramon first, I guess. Let's start with
Already.
the Imperial Dramon Fire mode. Uh, I guess we can put him in S tier. Where though?
Yep, yep. Definitely under Bombshell Lilymon. Under her somewhere and above
I think
Adventure
here.
Rosemont.
I th- yeah, I think here above Godramon maybe or below Godramon. I don't know.
Sounds appropriate.
Yeah, probably here. I'm gonna say.
Above Godramon, yes.
Yeah, above Godramon. Uh, okay. So what Imperial Dramon Fire mode does? He's a very run-of-the-mill character. He's a rush down for sure. Like he's really fast. His game plan is basically to just kick you into oblivion like as fast as he can. Occasional laser and then kick you again, and he can send back projectiles. And the reason why he's here is because of his ultra mode. Now, I did think about putting him in double S tier at first, but he doesn't really have anything that breaks guards or anything. He just has this big laser that can be used as soon as he goes into ultra mode and just depletes the HP bar of the enemy. It can basically, it's pretty much guarantees a kill, at least against the AI. But you can just guard it really. So at the end of the day, it's just a lot of chip damage. You can also send back stuff by guarding, because he has a reflector in ultra mode. Other than that, yeah, it doesn't do anything too crazy. He's a really strong character for sure. Nothing too scary though. Uh,
But meanwhile, on the opposite side, there is its dragon mode.
Dragon mode, unfortunately, is our first B tier character.
It's
So
just a shame because he's so cool looking.
yeah, unfortunate. So the problem with Imperial Dragon mode is that he's really slow. He's a zoner that does just okay damage. It's not nothing too impressive, and overall he's just clunky to use. Like even the ultra mode
You know
doesn't
the
do it.
irony? The irony is that dragon mode is said to be able to travel all around the world at the speed of light, but it's one of the slower characters here.
Yeah, he has D speed for some reason. Even the ultra mode doesn't really
Yeah, I
help
don't know
all that
why.
much. Hopefully he'll get buffed soon, but
Yeah.
at the moment he's not very powerful. I personally don't really like using him, but maybe in the future he get fixed. Who knows? A lot of characters that are up here
I like
at
using him. I wanted to make him work, but he just does not work the way I want.
there definitely is hope. Like I said, Don Devimon was in B tier before. Now he's in double S
Hmm.
tier. So
Yeah. So if he can, anyone can.
uh um Magnamon, I guess. Next.
Magnamon.
Magnamon definitely S tier.
Magnamon.
Magnamon,
I would
Magic,
stay under Rosemon.
Magic Magnamon. Okay, Magnamon
Above
is.
Wargray, under Rose.
Okay, so how do I define Magnamon? He's an unorthodox rushdown, I would say. He has a lot of
He
moves. that require a lot of steps in order to work. I probably would say
He's
he.
an admin multitasker. He really wants to have a lot of technical stuff going on and thinking in the player's head before he runs right into battle.
Mhm. Like he what he does is not exactly super impressive. Like he essentially fight by poking the character, the opponent, and then diving in with a kick or with the flying aura that the angels have. His bread and butter is definitely his barrier in ultra mode, especially because it gets powered up and does his famous extreme jihad that he is known for taking out Chimeramon, and that's pretty much his game plan, really. And he has Omen missiles in Ultra mode, I guess. There's not really much to say. Like Magnamon doesn't really have a lot of tools. He's a very simple character, kinda, because the barrier has the extra step. The X version he's actually a little worse than Magnamon. I'm probably gonna put him here or here actually. The X version of Magnamon, on the other hand, is also unorthodox, but more of a zoner. Actually, he tends to just keep the opponent away. The reason why I say he's unorthodox is because he still has the same barrier, the same aura thing that the regular Magnamon has, but he needs to get close to make it work. Like
You're a very complicated one.
he's a very complicated character. You use neutral special, you get close to the enemy, and then you use down special. Once you do, he just does the barrier and then shoots the laser in the direction of the enemy. So thankfully, you don't have to turn around. He just does it himself. Uh, but because he's so hard to use and it's hard to get results with him, it's hard to justify put him higher than Wargreymon, really. Because Wargreymon just does the same thing by just drilling the enemy easily. This guy needs to go through a lot of loops just to get the same amount of damage. Like he's not a bad character, otherwise he wouldn't be in S tier. It's just he's pretty hard to use. Easier than Lobo Pokemon though. uh, I guess while we're at it, that we can cover Blackie as well. Where is he?
Okay. He's actually a boss character,
But yeah, he's a
which I
boss
think he should
character,
go,
sub boss, so he's double S
well,
tier.
it's unfair.
Probably
I
below
think under
Agumon,
War Greymon X.
under Greymon X. Okay, yeah, above Dundemion though, I think.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so Black Imperial Drama. Unlike his normal cousin, Black Imperial Dramon has a lot of tools actually, and he's a versatile fighter. It can be rush down, it can be a zoner, it can be stage control in ultra mode. He's somewhat tanky as well, because also because his forward special, when fully charged, has armor effect, so he cannot be interrupted. And he's the first character on this list to have the slide evolution mechanic. Slide evolution is a mechanic that is mostly focused on in the Frontier era, which will be covered much later. Basically, what it does is changing him into another form by pressing down special, kind of like Algamon Worm Face, but this one doesn't consume meter. This one gives him a different set of tools, while also changing his stats, and he still will gain meter. But he won't be able to go ultra mode while in this state. So once you gain the meter that you need, and that's in that form, assuming you do need it, you have to change back and then go ultra mode.
Though it is highly risky because often players will want Dragon Mode to be a thing because its defense will plummet as a result, making him easier to kill.
I personally don't see a reason to use dragon mode. Usually I just stay in the
Mhm.
regular form.
It's
Uh,
nifty to chase aerial targets down when they don't think you'll reach them. You can get some extra damage out, then quickly change back, but it's very risky to stay.
I guess. I don't really use him all that often. He's a boss character after all. Uh, in Ultra mode, he cannot change the Dragon mode. Instead, if you press the down special, he will place a reflector, much like a normal Imperial Dramos, but this one stays on the field, and you can send multiple of them. So it's basically a trap that also sends back projectiles. He also has the giant laser that normal Imperial Dramon has, but it shoots upwards instead. So it's actually harder to use. And another note, in both cases, if you interrupt the laser, you will also end the Ultra mode. So it's actually pretty risky to use them. You have to be absolutely sure you can hit with these. It's actually easier to hit this guy's laser because he shoots forward. This guy shoots upwards, so you have to be closer, or you have to be right under the opponent to shoot. Normally, I just use the normal moves. Uh, how do you fight this guy? He is in survival mode, and he's the 30th opponent. Once you defeat 29 opponents. He's number 30. Once you beat him, you not only unlock Black Imperial Drama, you also unlock the survival skin for the character that you used, which is the green skin. And he's a boss character
It's
because he has increased the HP and also because of the damage he does.
it's also a bit unique because, like a very few of the other boss characters, you can only fight him on hard difficulty.
You can only find him in hard difficulty, and he's also the first instance of another thing called a skin character. So he's not actually a character in a different slot. To unlock this guy, you have to unlock the 8th skin of Imperial Dramon. Then you gotta beat Black Imperial Dramon and input a password that makes him selectable. To unlock the 8th skin of Imperial Dramon, you have to get 70 wins with Imperial Dramon. This is important for those that don't know this. 70 wins in total. Okay, so getting Black Imperial Dramon can be actually a bit time consuming. Alright, so moving on. I think we're done with the Veemon evolution, so let's move to Hawkmon. And his first evolution is Valkyriemon, which is here. Valkyriemon will go into 8th year. I will put him here. Okay, so Valkyriemon is a pretty, I would say, balanced character. It's not exactly crazy or anything. The whole thing about Valkyriemon is just it tends to harass you by shooting that arrow of his, which will track you down. It actually follows the target. Um, but it generally doesn't do a lot of damage, really. You have to be really patient with Valkyriemon. He just pokes and pokes and pokes to death. And he's also
Though Travis does find many fields, like one barriers for super armor or in shenanigans, and many can outrange him.
Yep.
That's why I think he goes just only below above Digimon because like take or Greymon even, who has a lot of melee and range combos. He
Yep.
can deck Valkyriemon pretty easily, or Machinemon can just endure everything. He gets Speedmon without range and be like hyper durable to everything can do as well. Valkyriemon just does not have a lot of good favorable matchups.
Uh, he does have freeze, I will say, which does prevent him from
That is
going lower.
useful.
He has freeze. He has a tornado
I,
that freezes, and in Ultra mode he
I
can
think
extend.
Freeze is why he gets all the way up here.
He gets an extended normal attack, kind of like Kodramon. It's not very crazy to
I
be
think
honest.
without the Freeze, it's going to be a B character.
Yeah, the freeze actually saves them from being at the very bottom. I did actually get a few wins with Valkyrie Mon, but it's really hard. Like the arrow hard carries him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Griffamon. Where is Griffamon? Where is Griffamon? Here. Okay, Griffamon was another character that was absolutely terrible, and that got buffed in this update. Uh,
I
I actually
think
will put
he's
it.
going to be maybe below fighter mode.
Yeah, probably here. Okay, so what to say about Griffamon? Griffamon was an
He's the
absolute
high speed battler for sure.
he was an absolutely clunky character that now became a pseudo speedster that can dominate the battlefield while staying in the air. Because now his neutral special has free flight, uh, has good range. He can poke the enemy with forward special, and he has a very annoying ultra mode that can disable guard and can spam his voice attacks, which will inflict glitch. And as I said before, glitch is a really annoying
Actually, I think it's
status.
the first one on this list that can do glitch.
Nope, not the first one. The first one was Bancholinimon.
Oh yeah, that's correct.
Bancholinimon can inflict glitch on forward special. This guy can do it on both neutral and
Which
down
this guy
special.
can do glitched on many.
There's quite a lot of characters that can inflict glitch, actually.
What?
I think not right now. In general, there's gonna be a lot of them. Oh, Algomon can inflict glitch as well.
In its ultra mode, yeah.
He is Ultramel, yes. Gryphomon just happens to be one of the most reliable
And
sources.
Griffamon is a very interesting one. He
Oh,
definitely likes swooping down and doing a lot of hit and run tactics. He can be hard to get away from due to its high speed. Due to that neutral, he can catch up to pretty much everyone in the game.
even the down special has
So if he
long
wants you
range,
down, he will get
even
you.
even vertical range. The down special, I mean, like even that is hard to get around to get away from, especially if
Hmm.
he hits the 4 special before, which inflicts guard disable. I mean, you can't even guard against him, and it's an immediate attack. There's no range, but if it hits, you're basically screwed up. And that's it about Griffamon. Uh, okay, next up we have the Armadillo line, and he evolves into Slash Engemon. Slash Engemon will go into S tier for sure. I think probably around here. Yeah. So Slash Engemon. Slash Engemon is another versatile character. A bit lenient towards Rushdown as well. But he also has some neat projectiles. He's another source of glitch, again, on forward special. And what makes him strong is the fact that he has an extended up special in Ultra mode, which also lasts longer. And the fact that he can pretty much harass you a bit. The reason why
Yeah,
he's not super high right now is because he's frail and because other characters have more impressive stuff. Like he's not,
I've heard the name going around for him recently called they call him Glass Angel.
yeah, Glass Angemon.
And like it's true, he's pretty vulnerable, but he does do a lot of consistent damage. And Jack Storm is staying, his up special essentially turns him into a blender in Ultra.
There's
Very
also the
satisfying ray damage.
there's also the fact that bunch of Digimon can kind of shut him down in a way if you try to zone with him, especially if she's in Ultra.
Hmm.
So definitely strong. It's just that some other characters can do the stuff he does even better than he does. But in the hands of a skilled player, is definitely a threat, even for the double S tier characters. Also in S tier, we have Clavisengemon here. Clavisengemon goes a little higher though. I think it goes here.
Like near the top of S, nearby, like under Brick
Bancholimon.
X. Yeah.
Okay, so Clavisengemon is actually a pretty complicated character to use. So what he does is rely on the gate mechanic. What the game mechanic does is basically you have to activate the neutral special to make him open the gates, and the more gates he opens, the stronger his other moves become. And it caps at 2 gates, and you see the key icons on his head now to indicate how many gates are open and such. In Ultra mode, those gates stay open no matter what. The thing about Clavis Senjimon is that he's a very pressure-focused character, both on inflicting pressure and on receiving pressure. So he's very vulnerable against characters that can interrupt him. But if you let him do his thing, he pretty much won't let you do anything. And in Ultra mode, this is even more evident because his gates will be immediately open and he won't be able to lose them. Normally, he loses them while getting hit 3 times. In Ultra mode, that won't happen. Not only that, he also got buffed in this update. Before, he couldn't open the gates if he was in midair. He had to be on the ground. Now he can do that, which is important because he's another character that has E-speed, like Machine Ramon. But he's not exactly a tank. He's just a really strong zoner. One
He
mistake with
doesn't have the uber defense tools Machine Money.
Sanjimon can actually cost you the match, both for you and
And
for
his
or for the
Ultra,
opponent.
unlike the other characters, does not make him any stronger. It does
No,
not grant him any kind of power. Instead, it gives him 2 keys immediately.
yeah, the Ultra mode is not an upgrade. It just gives him all the tools he would have in base without the restriction of losing them, the risk of losing them. It's just that it's very strong even in base. Okay, now we move to the other main guy, which is Wormmon. The first evolution he gets is Bunch of Stingmon, which is here. Bunch of Stingmon is 100% a double S tier character, and he is definitely above here, above Don Demimon. So, what's the deal with Bunch of Stingmon? Rush down, really, really fast character with the homing missiles, and a move that can drain meter and can heal himself. Which has short range, but he can, even if the opponent is guarding. And he can inflict glitch.
Very speedy, very damaging.
I think I said everything
But I think I
already.
would knock him down to under Devimon because of its fragile nature.
Probably, yeah. Although he does have better air game than Don Devimon. It's another interchangeable one,
True.
really. Yeah, probably here. It's debatable really because they're around the same tier. Okay,
Fairly.
yeah. On the other hand, the other evolution of Wormmon is this bastard right here. It's
Oh no.
oh yeah, Grande Squagamon. Above the Aboramon,
It's
yes.
pretty much one of the strongest
Above the
non-boss
Aboramon,
characters
yes.
in the game. One of
Above
two.
above the Aboramon, yes.
He okay, so
He's
essentially
okay. The what I want
he
to point
can use moves to be completely expelled from projectile.
one
It's
second.
down special.
What I want to point out about Grandis Kuwagamon is that he's not a boss character. Okay,
Hmm.
he's a normal character.
And he is very safe, but that is not what defines him. What defines him is the ludicrous amounts of damage he can pump out in a short amount of time. Because if he hits someone with his forward special or down special, he can launch them into combos that shred through their health like butter. And
Especially in
in
Ultra.
Ultra Mode, and he
And
can combo these combos with down or forward special, meaning that these can relentlessly attack, relentlessly drain without the enemy doing anything.
he can also nullify projectiles with the down special, and he has
Mhm.
armor, meaning he cannot be interrupted, and he can glitch. Lovely,
So
right?
essentially, you can only really stop him from approaching with either a really good time projectile or some kind of physical laser like Giga Digimon has. Otherwise, he's going to keep coming and then you're just going to die.
Yeah, he's a walking juggernaut. Usually in survival
You
mode,
might be able to jump over him if you have good like recovery, like if you're one of the birds, but it's not likely given the amount of other characters.
yeah, in survival mode, he more times than not he will end your run. He's that strong. Okay, I think we're done with the main characters of Zero 2. We can move on to the
And
antagonists, I think.
Black or Greymon.
Backward Raymon, another double S tier character. And he goes,
Thankfully, this game is pretty balanced to that point. A lot
yeah,
of people are going to be in
he's
this
pretty
S and
balanced. Yeah,
SS
most of the
tier,
characters are either really strong or have one or more broken tools. I put Blackboard Greymon probably here.
where you think
Yeah, above Seraphimon probably.
between,
Or maybe
yeah,
below.
directly above Ofanimon, I think.
Yeah, probably below Seraphimon, but above Funimon. Okay, Blackboard Greymon. He's another rushdown character with some zoning tools and even some trap setting. Um, Very straightforward character. It's basically a War Greymon that relies on strong single strikes. He doesn't do combos. Um, and in Ultra mode, he just gets stronger zoning tools, stronger traps, which are permanent, like they stay until the Ultra mode ends. And the only problem is just that he's frail. He has low defense, but a really strong but a very skilled Blackboard Greymon player usually will kill you in 2 seconds. Is really really strong. Not as ridiculous as Grandis
I think
Quagamon.
sometimes they can be overstated, but they can be deadly.
They can be
Just
deadly.
nowadays, thankfully, there's a lot of tools and other characters out to keep them off you. It won't be that bad, but it's nothing to take lightly.
Yeah, it's nothing to. It will hurt you badly. It's also the first check to the game. Like you find him in the Rebel Arena path 1, as a semi boss. While you have a rookie, you just see this guy popping out, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And he's scary. Like he's really scary. There's not a lot of rookies that can handle him with ease. More times than not, you're probably gonna start with Agumon. Agumon is gonna struggle a lot against him. Okay. Uh, yeah. Now, I'll give you the honor of describing the X version, but I will say that he definitely goes in double S tier as well.
Okay. So
Here.
then,
So where would you put him?
I would put him above Valdermon below Phoenixmon.
So below Gigasidramon, probably.
Yeah, this guy, he is one of the very few characters in the game where its entire kit, the entirety of it, it's projectiles. I guess outside of sports special, but he really does need to use it because he pretty much is a walking gun. He has very quick to perform moves that harass the enemy. Its up special can be tapped and immediately has all the projectiles at once. Pillars of flame, basically, that travel in a straight line and have suspiciously high priority. That, and he has a neutral special, which can be tapped to throw a Terra Force that goes diagonally toward the ground and makes the pillar of flame. But he can hold it down to create a much bigger one that travels in a straight line and creates a much larger pillar that is difficult to get around. I like using that move because it pins them down for a long period of time for all of its other attacks to hit, such as its down special, which he fires several spheres of electricity at the enemy. Now in Ultra Mode, it spray shines because down special has these electric spheres track. They follow the enemy no matter where they move, and it'll just keep damaging them no matter what. And the pillars for the neutral special will stick around while the Terra Force is immediately charged. Up special also gets additional fire pillar as he drives into the ground after recovering. So while he has all of that, it's one of the squishiest megas in the game. Very weak defensively. Well, I normally would rate that very low. You just gotta touch him first, which I'm not sure how you're going to with a lot of characters because of all the attack power he has throwing around.
If he pushes you to the wall, you're basically dead.
Essentially, you have to be kinda, yeah, because the pillar. If he gets you between the pillar and the wall, you just have to take it. It's just a tall order for a lot of people because he is really high in attack stat. And with that plus projectile spam, it's nasty combo.
Even if you nullify his Terra Force, he just leaves the flame trail, and you can nullify that. You're gonna get a lot of damage from that. So yeah, basically, Glass Cannon Zoner that is also really easy to use and has tools for
Yeah.
everything. Now, Blackboard Greymon has another variant, another character skin like Blackboard Greymon, like Black Imperium. Sorry, which is Chaos for Greymon. Now, Chaos for Greymon probably will go around here, I'd say.
I think Chaos is weaker than X, but stronger than Black.
Yes. So, Chaos for Greymon is
Oh,
another boss character, which is unlocked to a special battle. Uh, the thing about Chaos for Greymon is that his kit is basically similar to Black for Greymon, but he's even more aggressive because instead of black tornadoes that he shoots around, he shoots tracking missiles. He still creates flame pillars that stick around, like the two Blackboard Greymons, and he actually can combo you in melee in Ultra mode. Very straightforward, but very scary. And when you fight him in that special battle, he's in permanent Ultra mode. So you gotta beat him quickly because, as I said, the fire pillars, which are also bigger in Ultra mode, will remain for the remainder of the battle. And so if you let him do his thing, he'll just wipe you out. It's basically battle against time without the timer active. The hands of a player, he will just kill you through combos that easily. I think that's it. It's pretty simple. Okay.
clearly. Do you want to cover the Adventure 2 movie cast too? Like Rapid One?
Wait a second. I think uh we have to cover Malo first.
I suppose.
Yeah, where's Malo? Oh, there he is.
Oh, actually, never mind. Not Mallow. Neo Crimson, because he comes from the same game as Chaos War Greenland.
Oh, right. Neo Crimson. Oh my freaking
Oh,
gosh.
this guy is kind of special because he has an entire event surrounding this guy, and it's one of the tougher fights in the game. He's going to be the highest rated one so far, straight to the top of SS.
You unlock him pretty early as well. So he's a really tough challenge. So
Yeah, there's a lot
what's
going on here.
what is scary about Neo Crimson? Okay, so Neo Crimson
Well, he
has
has invincibility on half its moves for one.
he's basically a walking cheat code. He fights by being completely unfair. He has a lot of moves that pretty much make him invincible, like the tornado on forward special and the big fireball. He has S attack and S defense, so he hits hard and hardly takes damage. Uh, he has E in speed and jump, but he actually teleports, so his movement isn't actually poor. And in Ultra mode, first of all, when he evolves, he will drain your meter fully. There is a way to counter that, but he usually does that. And his moveset changes completely. He can now uh, teleport above onto you while still being invincible, do a lot of damage, can break your guard, poison you, and he has a gigantic laser like Imperial Dramon, but without the peril of having the Ultramon ended even if it's interrupted. And he has a dash attack that does a combo at the end of it. Also, once in Ultra mode, his defense stats jumps to triple S, meaning that he takes even less damage. So yeah, lovely guy. He's a very tough to fight. And to boot, you fight him in an area where there's not a lot of space to move. So you gotta be extra careful. You can't exactly run from him. Anything else to say? He's just
Hmm.
he's just really really scary.
Well, he does have the highest stat on this entire roster in his Ultra Mode for defense, outside of Armageddon, who's stage character.
That is true. There's another guy that has triple S defense, but
He's likely going to take. He's likely going to take several Ultra Modes to take out, and since he's doing that, he's going to be draining all your ultras the entire time.
when you first fight him in Special Battle 2, he also has vastly increased HP. So you think it's 3 times the normal. And like he's alone, but you have 3 party members with you. But basically you'll barely hurt him essentially. Well, he'll just eat through your health. The way to counter his Evometer mechanic is just to save the Ultra mode for when he goes Ultra himself. You have to go Ultra at the same time as he does. That's very important. So many people just don't know this and thus think he's the strongest character in the game. But he actually isn't because it is possible to counter him this way. You still gotta be careful though. Like if you get hit by any one of his moves by using Ultra, he can just combo you to death, just like that. Okay, now I think we can finally move to Malamayolismon.
It's actually going directly under Neo Crimson.
Yeah, probably yeah. Okay, Malamayolis.
Although technically there's a pretty stiff power divide between the two, but for now this is where they are.
Okay, he is still a really strong character. Like he's still a boss character.
True, but not Neo Crimson.
Not Neo Crimson. Neo Crimson is in a league of his own. He's like top five. Neo Crimson is like top five in the game. Okay, so what does
Most
Malamayolismon
definitely.
do? Malamayolismon is a zoner boss, which is actually kind of unique. There's not a lot of bosses that just focus on zoning you. Um, all of the moves he does, they're just very strong projectiles and lasers, and he just flies across the screen while eating away at your HP because his attack stat is really high. Uh, the thing about Malo is that in Ultra mode he has a unique ability in his down special, which is the fact that he can just scramble your controls. So it's not like confusion. What he does is literally just mix up your controls. So like your attack button becomes the jump button, the guard button becomes the special attack button, and your movement becomes completely erratic. So he can literally just screw you over with that one move. Besides that, he can also disable guard. He can poison you, and just delete you because the laser he has now hits continuously and has free flight. Still nowhere near as dangerous as Neo Crimson again, because Neo Crimson just does that with much more ease, but still a threat regardless. I will say that he's however, one of the easier
It's still
bosses.
nasty to fight.
Still nasty to fight. He's one of the easier bosses in arcade mode just because of the stage, though. Dark Area is an annoying stage, but It is possible to cheese Mallow in a certain way, depending also on the character you're using. Anyone else from CO2?
I believe it's only the movie ones from O2 remaining.
Maybe Rapidmon,
Rapidmon
because it's
and the
a
Shrubimons.
and the Tukerubimons, yeah. Because yeah, because this is actually Gold Rapidmon.
But she has special skin for the Tamers version.
Yeah, though the voice lines don't change. Okay, so Gold Rapidmon, probably around here or here. Yeah, above Goldramon.
Probably like a smidge over Griffimon.
Be sure, I guess. Um, you describe her
I
actually.
mean,
You
like,
you like
I
her, but
used her a lot. She's great, but her down special, which is Slavester, is outdone by Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode Slavester.
yeah,
And the fact that she also has very weak defense and attack stats.
she's basically another premium zoner. Just harasses you with missiles all day. Very straightforward character.
They kind of fell from grace a little bit because they used to be very high, very, very, because their homing projectile had a lot of knockback, so she can keep people away. Now, with the big homing missile nerf, that doesn't scale so high anymore. And since that's her primary feature, she essentially has to rely on poking for the entire game. Until she gets to Ultra, which her down special becomes a laser, which she can move just like fighter modes, which disables guards when hit. Very useful when you get it off, but against a confident player, it might be tricky.
Right. So it's actually
It's
kind of
essentially a lot of harassment.
it's not too hard to counter actually. Um, kind of like Clavis in a way. Like if you let her do her thing, she can just pressure you into death. Because the missiles can actually be kind of
Mm-hmm.
spammed.
So she does have the weakness of her forward and up specials, just being simple melee slides to the right and up. So she has a very basic toolkit with not a whole lot going on.
All right.
She essentially two buttons.
Okay, we're close up the video with.
Everyone knows that you're just going to be firing missiles.
Yep. So let's close up the video with the two Cherubimons. So Cherubimon Vice first, or
Alrighty,
Cherubimon. Easiness tier. I will put him probably here. I'd say right above
like over
Magnamon.
Magma.
Yeah, above Magnamon probably. So Cherubimon
Yeah,
Vice
they're very similar in a way.
is a boss character actually, but surprisingly not a very powerful one. Like when you fight him, usually you're gonna lose a few rounds to him because you fight him in dark area. In dark area, he's really powerful. He just doesn't let you move around. He controls the field essentially, and he also has annoying melee attacks, which works perfectly on the platforms. He has armor and those lightning bolts that are instant on the down special. And the ultra mode summons this cloud that follows you around, strikes with lightning, which can be dodged, but will just harass you. And that black hole in up special, which blocks projectiles and also makes it impossible to interrupt. It's just really, really, really annoying. Not exactly super strong, unless I'm missing something. But he basically just fights by
It's
being
pretty accurate. Like he's essentially, if you keep moving, then he's not so scary. He punishes people that like being safe or being stationary.
pretty much, yeah. Because in any other stage that is linear, like the digital hazard or the Reapermon stage, is not that big of a threat. It mostly shines in
The
stages with,
slower you are, typically, the stronger he scales. Like
yeah,
if you're Clavis, for instance, who's E speed, you're going to have a hard time because he can get you no matter where you are, and he'll
es-
always outrun you, and his lightning will reach you.
especially in stages with platforms, like the desert as well. Like the desert has a lot of platforms, and the sand that slows you down. Now, Kyrian Virtue
The
on the
harder
other
it is
hand,
to travel, the better he is.
yeah. Now, Kyrian Virtue on the other hand, another terrible character that got buffed in this update. Also in S tier, but a little higher. I will put him probably above Rapidmon. Okay, so Kyrian Virtue.
I would say actually, I'd be a little more lenient. I would stay above fighter mode.
Mm, I'll say, okay, so Kyrian Virtue. Another premium zoner. This guy got a buff on the cooldowns. He had atrocious cooldowns before. Now he can actually cycle his moves around, and his damage is actually quite impressive. Um, he can shoot down aerial enemies. He can create a lightning field that prevents enemies from approaching him, and he can fly around like the Vice version. In Ultra mode, he can also summon another Thundercloud with a neutral special, which works more similar to Seraphimon's Lightning Strike, and he has homing missiles, forward special, and his Thunder Field with down special also becomes larger. And he can also stun you with up special. It can just block you, which makes the opponent open to other attacks. So his game plan now is basically to just um, zone the hell out of you, just kill you with the projectile after projectile, and stop you from moving. But he doesn't inflate any status or game breaking stuff. Like it doesn't break guards, disable guards, disable attack or anything. You have to get hit by him so he can just delete you, kind of like Glavis, basically, in a way. He's very strong though.
They're very similar in the way that they're floaty, slow characters with lots of harassment.
He's in a way another boss character, kind of like Vice. Like if you use Cherubim Vice, you fight Cherubim Virtue instead, but not in a way that will just delete you. Like he's not on the level of Omegamon. Strong enough to matter though. Anything else to say?
No, I think that pretty much covers it.
All right. So I'm gonna interrupt the video for now. Let's just make this the part one of the tier list because there's way more characters to cover, and we're 2 hours and past in videos, and we only covered the adventure part.
It's going to be long.
Yeah, we're not even halfway through, and this is just the megas.
Hmm.
So I think I will end the video here, and I will see you guys in the next part, which will hopefully be really soon. So I
Alrighty.
alrighty, Shen, you'll join me in the next part too, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. I'll be there.
Okay. So be seeing you guys hopefully really soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.